Sound is down, but I tell you what, the wind is up. And I wanted to hop on here March 1st. Happy meteorological spring, folks. That's right. According to the way we track seasons in meteorology, technically this is spring. Can you all hear that? Doesn't sound too spring-like.
Happy spring.
Got our co-host, a.k.a. Lisa Ray, with us just off camera. She'll be monitoring your comments during this feed. We are going to multi-stream this to both YouTube and also on Facebook. Thank you very much for being a part of the program. Focusing on our friends across western New York State, and parts of the Great Lakes that are receiving some quite inclement weather. So needless to say, I think at least on a local or regional level, it is safe to say that March is coming in like a lion. There are no lambs here. Okay? Here's the way it looks as we take a look outside. This is live, Port Bay, New York. Look at Old Glory just whipping in the wind right now. And I would estimate that we've already seen wind gusts of upwards of 50 miles per hour at this location. And more areas will be seeing those winds potentially damaging in some cases. So discussing what the winds are doing now, we'll have a live radar update coming up here in a few minutes. And the worst of the winds I'm expected to occur early this evening for parts of the area. So highlighting those areas that could see 50 to 60 mile per hour winds coming up here in a few minutes. Right now it is 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time, aka who do we have in the program?
Ooh, I thought you might do that. Can you come back to me in just a moment?
Yeah, she's always ready. Always ready. Okay, so we will. We're going to take we'll take roll call here in a couple of moments. Let's get you caught up with the radar right now. I've got current wind gusts that are up here on this map. So 41 in Rochester. That's 41 mile per hour gust here last hour. It's blowing a lot harder than that, it feels like right now here at this location, again in Wayne County. Putting this into motion for you guys. You can see watching those snow showers and snow squalls. Whoa, a bit of an echo in here, folks. So we've seen this couple of these primary bands that have moved in. One right there hugging the coast. So this is going to be blasting portions of Monroe, Wayne County here. And I'm going to go over to another vantage point here in a couple of moments. You can just hear that wind as it continues to just absolutely whip. I'm going to turn this off and let's get our mosaic on. I'm going to put this in motion. Maybe it's not going into motion for me, but that's okay. Because I tell you what will go into motion, and that is a current look at our satellite perspective, showing you what's happening. Big low pressure rolling over the Great Lakes right now. This cold low, it's a cold pocket of air aloft, is essentially what you're looking at. And that cold air, as it makes its way across the Great Lakes, even this time of the year, keep in mind water temperatures are much colder. Many parts of the Great Lakes are actually frozen right now, but it doesn't make a difference because there's so much cold air aloft that it generates those snow squalls. And even though that parts of the Great Lakes are frozen, they're not completely frozen, especially Lake Ontario, which remains somewhere in the order of about 80% open, maybe 85% open. So with that, it's going to be a squally time coming up with those forecasted wind speeds when the worst of this weather will get out of here coming up in a few minutes. But now you've got your people in front of you, don't you?
I do.
All right.
They're right here, all my friends. We have Regina on. She says she so enjoys hearing from you guys back there, being in crazy California all my life.
Well, thank you, Regina.
Amanda, she's
appreciate you being on.
Watching from Kissimmee, Florida.
Okay.
And we also have Sue Molino from Austerlitz, New York.
Okay, very good. Thank you for being on.
Jean Kern, Diane Clark from South Mississippi, and Karen Bennett from Louisville, Kentucky. Hi
hey,
there.
Carol.
Kevin Batcher on. Patty Desiree. Scott Bristol wants to know if this is a red alert.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. Red alert, red alert.
It feels like one. I kept telling that Jeremy, I felt like we needed to go into the hall bathroom and take cover. It's so windy right now.
Yeah, it is, and you've been hearing it here on the program. So let me know what you're hearing on your end. By the way, we do have a YouTube channel, and while I do a typical...
Are you on that right now?
We are on one of my two primary YouTube channels, which is YouTube /JCapel or /user /JCapel1. But let me help you out. It might be easier if I just share the link with you. But it's just a good page to keep tabs on, because this page remains active even if I'm not necessarily covering weather up in New York. So you'll continue to be able to get on there.
Yeah, over on YouTube you have Robin Kuhlman.
Hey, Robin.
She says it's crazy out there. She's reporting that from Penfield, the Fairport area.
Yeah, a little blustery, eh?
We also have Cheryl Evans
weather
on saying
up
it's
in
snowing
New
here
York.
in Red Creek, and police and ambulance went by her complex. She thinks there may be an accident on 104.
Oh, no. We never like to hear that.
We have President Charlotte on. Wait, President Charlotte sometimes.
President Charlotte or Charlotte? You know, you always have to be careful with that.
I know. In New York, we say Charlotte. I hear that's what we're supposed to say.
Charlotte.
But she's from Florida.
Okay.
She's checking in from Florida, so I'm going to say it's Charlotte.
Oh, probably is
Right?
Charlotte down there. So.
We also have Mike Conklin on.
Okay, hey, Mike.
And Rich Martinez as well.
And when you say Martinez, you could mean Martinez, right? It could go either way.
That is exactly what I meant. Didn't I say that?
Martinez.
Martinez.
All right, you're giving this guy a new nickname here.
Sorry,
Mr. Martinez.
Sorry about that, Rich.
All right, no, we know better.
Yeah.
All right, so taking a look at the U.S., and I just wanted to highlight that most of the U.S. is quiet. We've got some active river flood warnings across portions of the Ohio River Valley. Otherwise, really, the focus really is up here in the Northeast. Here's a quick look at the Ohio River Valley. Any area in green, including the lower portions of the Ohio River and the Wabash River for Kentucky and Indiana and Illinois. Those are active lowland and active stream warnings, river flood warnings for that area. Looks like a lot of warnings as well, southern portions of Ohio and into portions of West Virginia. This is, again, from all the rain last couple of days, but the Northeast really is the focus right now, where we are seeing and experiencing those winds remaining pretty ferocious, anywhere in that light beige. Can I say the word beige as a man? Am I allowed to say beige and still keep my man card?
You know, I'll let you know. Let me think about that.
She's going to have to put some thought into it.
Possible no. What do you all think?
It's okay. I mean, I'm really taking a chance here, apparently.
You know, honestly, I'm kind of impressed that you know.
Do you agree with the color? Is that beige?
Yeah, I mean...
It is beige, isn't it?
I might go, with a beige, a peach, maybe?
Yep. Okay. All right, so wind advisories and wind warnings. The wind warnings are out towards Syracuse and Utica. So you can hear that wind whipping around us. Take a look behind me.
April says you can say tan. Just
tan is safe. All right, that's fair.
Is it? I don't know what's safe anymore. It's probably offensive to someone somewhere.
Somehow. All right, taking a look at the current wind gust, and man, I mean the house is shaking up here where we're at. Here, I'll show you a better camera view. I wanted to touch on these current wind gusts being reported of somewhere between 35 and 45 miles per hour. These are pretty widespread. I want to see what the National Weather Service is saying. There we go. This is coming in from the Weather Service just about 50 minutes ago. And John from the National Weather Service is speaking on here. And what's he have to say? He says, good afternoon, all. It's fairly windy already, I would say, but the strongest winds in the advisory area to be southeast of Lake Ontario, including Rochester area, will be from about 6 to 9 p.m. this evening. So we're just not kind of approaching that peak area of wind or peak time frame for which we'll be looking for the wind. 6 to 9 p.m. As the core of its strongest winds aloft and strongest pressure rises across the region, gusts of 50 to 55. And I would argue, based on the data that I'm looking at and based on what we've experienced right here in good old Port Bay, right on Lake Ontario, that wind gust possibly up to about 60 miles per hour, which is damaging.
The chairs like knocked down and.
Oh, I mean, they just fly around, and I'm not even, as long as they don't have direct access to the house, I just keep them kind of locked in.
Yeah.
But you do what you got to do.
Kind of like America. We're all just locked in like that chair right there.
There we go. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. All right.
Oh, Donna Meeson, we miss you too.
Where's Donovan? She working different shift or something?
Donna Meeson does not work at Bob's Supermarket anymore.
Oh, that's right.
I know.
What's
like,
she
of
been
all
up to?
times for her to retire when we're up here, right?
Really?
No,
yeah. I mean, come on.
We're excited for her. Yeah. We also have Laverne Cash on.
Okay.
In Maryland, we have a wind advisory until midnight.
That's true. Midnight, I think technically 1 p.m. or 1 a.m. It doesn't matter. Cheryl Evans on here. Barbara Swingle. Popping on YouTube from Facebook so I can do other things on Facebook, she says. So Barbara Swingle, she's out there, and she's multitasking with the best of us. So anyway, we appreciate you guys coming on here. Just wanted, to share with you guys what we're experiencing here.
That is whipping.
That wind is something. If in a moment I'll bring up a video from earlier, but I want to get to the more recent data. And it's kind of distracting. Is it just me, or are you distracted by this wind? I'll tell you this much, we have a hard time keeping this.
I was going to say, we do that sometimes, our focus. Denise wants to say you are on now. Will you be on later?
Yeah, we'll have a regular show at 8:45. This is a weather show. So hopefully that means that I have little to no potential of being knocked off or deplatformed by Facebook or this YouTube channel. I can speak freely about the weather. It's free. My ideas and opinions are okay, I think. Wait a minute, maybe not because of the kind of political tie with climate. Maybe I have to be careful with this too.
Isn't it a shame how everything has become political these days?
I do wish.
Scott Bristol's cracking me up. He says, I'm in my recliner and my house is down the road.
In my house. Yeah, it's a whipping out there. You can see all the snow showers here from this vantage point on our current radar perspective, showing you, again, wind gusts are going up. We've got that new lake squall that's beginning to develop. I can see it out of my window. I'm going to turn this camera around and let you guys take a peek here. All right, and let's take a look. Take a look at this. So this is the weather that's coming our way. Hey, that's right. I do have a camera mounted outside. That may have been a better choice.
Oh my gosh!
Right, and just a little while ago, we were watching these ice fishermen that were out there. It looks like they packed up and bailed. They had enough bad weather. So can't say that I blame them. Really can't. All right, so let's get to forecasted wind speeds coming up here in a few moments. And again, the bad camera work, compliments of yours truly. Right? There you go.
Right.
Big upper low swirling across the area. Let's bring on into our futurecast data and take a look where these things are going to go. Okay, so I'm loading that data right now. It's going to be a moment. In the meantime, let's take another round of questions or comments, and then we'll jump on here with that.
Tom Tracy says beige is fine, but if you say mauve, you lose your man card.
Mauve is too much. Wait. Is that, who said that?
Tom Tracy.
Wait, Tom. Sorry. How do you know about mauve? I've got to ask the obvious question. How do you know about mauve? That is the question.
Oh no. I guess Patty wants to know if we heard Josh Nichols mumble his words today. He said big nose instead of big news.
He's out of here. Fired.
I'm
just joking. I joke. I love Josh.
You and Josh hung out a couple times, right?
Oh yeah. We've hung out several times. So.
Yeah, you like that guy? I don't know.
No, he was one of the first other meteorologists in the area to welcome me once I arrived. He was one of the first to send his condolences after the calamity, and him and I remain in contact to this day. So I appreciate him. Loading in your Futurecast data now, and we'll talk about how long this unruly weather will stick around. It is 5:43, by the way, on this. It's a Monday, isn't it? It's March 1st.
March 1st, Monday.
The good news.
It's time. It's the first of the month, right? We need to.
Yes.
Set some goals. Good time for goal setting.
It is a good time for goal setting.
So perhaps we could talk about that later tonight on 8:45. Tom Tracy says, "I'm married. Heard it from the wife."
Okay, wait. Oh, right. There you go, Tom. Yeah. Sure you did. Likely story. Okay. All right. So these winds are a whipping. You're looking at it live here from Port Bay, New York. This is northeastern Wayne County. Watching those squalls come in. Next, we're taking a look at what you can expect as far as the timing of those winds. That's the box in your top right. And here it is. I'm going to blow this up so everybody can see. We'll have your timestamp here at the bottom left. Timestamp showing you where we are. This is as of 5:01. And let's go into the future. Okay, so you see that core, that red area? This is the core of the winds as they approach over the next hour, 2 hours to come. And again, the lake is a brewing. You get that west-northwesterly fetch, and that is just absolutely ripe for bringing some inclement weather. By 6:30, you can see those winds just offshore, 55 miles per hour. Onshore, closing in at 50. You get way inland, it's 35 to 40 miles per hour. That's 6:30. Let's move it on forward. Here comes the core of those winds. Our model showing about 7:30. We'll see the heart of this wind making its way into the area. Let's do a little zoom job here. So by 7:30, winds could be gusting. Wait, I got to turn something off. You need to be off. All right, there we go. So take a look at your timestamp, bottom left. So winds by 7:30, it's showing about 47 miles per hour in Rochester. You come up here on the lake. This is Webster on the lake, near 60. Out here towards Sodas, about 55 miles per hour. Again, by 7:30, so these are projected winds via the latest run of the high-res NAM. And then we go forward in time, and again, the worst of the winds begin to lift by late this evening. You can see where they moved to. They moved to central New York. So let me back it up real quick. There you go. There's the winds off the lake into central New York, and then it begins to interact with the Catskills in southern New York. And then we'll watch the winds diminishing here overnight. Tonight, still elevated. I mean, I think we're still looking at winds tonight routinely gusting to 40 miles per hour in some cases. Boy, that's quite a gust we have out there right now.
I mean, wow.
Let's take a look at this. Weather camera, go.
It's like it almost got more gusty as you've been on.
I think Mother Nature's trying to flex her muscles and show me that I'm just a puny little weather guy and she's firmly in control.
It was funny. We saw some ice fishermen out there earlier.
We did. I took some video of it too.
And they got out of there pretty quickly.
They had to bail. Yeah. Well, hats off to them. They were out there most of the day.
Surprised.
During some really, really big-time squalls.
Mm-hmm.
But I think at the end of the afternoon, they had been beaten up by the wind, the cold. The temperature probably dropped 10 degrees in the time that they were out there, and that does not include the wind chill, of course. The wind chill, that's the big one. That'll get you sometimes. This wind will calm down into the morning hours tomorrow, gust to around 35. And then we'll see really major improvements as we go throughout the day tomorrow. So your Tuesday looking a lot better. We are still seeing some snow showers, though, as mentioned. We'll get back to your radar update here in a couple of moments. But just listen to that.
Yeah. Look at those. I mean, how birds, right? Mike Conklin says, Jeremy, do you see anything going on in morning hours? He leaves for work at 3:30 in the morning.
The wind will have come down, I think, pretty substantially by then. But I think you're probably going to be dealing with some lake effect. I'll look at your futurecast radar next. But I think you will be dealing with some lake effect snow showers. Nothing terribly heavy. They don't have any major warnings out there. They had a snow squall warning earlier, which is typical for this type of weather. And let's see what high-res models are showing for that potential here this evening and overnight tonight. Just listen to that wind. When I was in the business, we used to call that nat sound. Pop nat sound. Nat sound is natural sound.
Okay.
Pop nat sound. It's old me.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my.
Oh my gosh. Let's just hope.
This is not an omen for the remainder of the springtime. I did make the prediction, by the way. I think.
Wow. Oh.
I think it's going to be a very active severe weather season.
Wow. John Russo says, I was the guy fishing.
Nuh-uh.
Fun, he says.
John, were you out here on Port Bay for real?
Was that really you?
That's interesting. Okay. Well, let me know. If it really was you, well, you got to tell us how you did. What'd you pull up? Get any crappie?
Our bucket list. We would like to ice fish.
Yeah, but not on a day like today.
No,
John, more power to you, buddy, but I'm not getting on that ice on a day like today. You know?
I'd like to wait for, more calm.
Yes.
Peaceful sort of day.
I'm agreeing with you. All right, we're pulling up the 3K NAM. I'm going to look at your future radar before we bring this feed down for a close. Just wanted to provide a little special update because I know a lot of people are probably curious about what's happening with the weather. It's a little nutty. So here's a look at your high-res NAM. Let's get you some weather model action here. And boy, we're going to have to replace Old Glory. She's a bit of afraid, afraid at the end. Now, she's not afraid. Old Glory would never be afraid. But like the end is all tethered or it's all ripped up. Frayed, like a frayed knot,
Frayed, okay.
Frayed, not afraid.
Not afraid.
It was coming out wrong.
Right. This is intense, guys. This is really intense.
It is. And we're probably an hour and a half away from the core.
It's going to get more
It'll get
windy?
It'll get windier. You guys listen to this?
Do we need to go inland?
We need to find shelter.
No, I'm serious.
I mean, seriously, if you were on that ice right now,
yeah,
I bet you could put ice skates on one end of this bay and let that wind push you all the way across.
But maybe we shouldn't suggest that.
It's a bad idea. All right, let's go.
Repeat that. That is a bad idea.
I don't know. It could be a new sport.
No, I'll.
You know what I mean?
I'll pass. You.
Could be a new sport. Maybe somehow you get some sort of a sail.
Oh my gosh, no.
All right, here's your futurecast showing you those snow squalls. They're going to be.
Gosh. Kevin wants to know if we can repost the links to the Patreon account.
Oh, of course, absolutely.
Our Patreon page.
I'm glad you asked, Kevin. Thank you very much for that.
Can I do that? Would that be helpful?
Yeah.
Are you?
Well, I've already kind of got it.
And then John Russo says he was on a Irondequoit Bay. Sorry about that.
Oh, that's all right, John. I'm sure the conditions weren't too different. It must have been pretty rough out there as well.
Yeah. Wow.
So those on YouTube, I just posted a link to our Patreon page. This way you can kind of keep up with the latest on what we do. There is an option for you to subscribe if you would like. That way you get all of our streaming content, all of our premium content, and help to support what we do all at the same time. So we encourage you guys to do that. We've been very encouraged here the last week or two since we've been kind of pointing people to that page. We've watched that page more than double in size. And now it's bringing in over $800 of revenue a month, which goes a long way helping to keep the lights on around here, let me tell you. So thank you very much. And keeping it warm, that's a big deal.
I was just saying the heat has been nice.
That's a big deal. What's
a big deal.
What's Eileen saying?
I lived in March Madness in the 80s. The weather has been a loop. I remember the 29 inches of ice and snow I had in 94 in Philadelphia. The weather is unpredictable, always will be.
All right. Yeah, well, it is. It is. Mother Nature will always have the upper hand, but because people are always interested in predicting what she's going to do next, there's always going to be a place for a guy like me to give my prognostications.
You know what? There would always be a place for you regardless.
There would be?
There would be.
Oh, well, she's so nice to me. Even though I used the word beige earlier.
Beige. Hey, at least you didn't use mauve.
I didn't use mauve. All right, so the gentleman that was asking said he leaves for work at 3 a.m.
Yes.
We will have snow squalls, it looks like, ongoing.
Yes, that was Mike Conklin.
Mike, yeah, you're going to have some snow, and I'm showing you that loop around that time frame. Right now it's pegging Orleans County into western southern portions of Monroe, central portions of Ontario, but that will likely fluctuate with the data as it comes in. We'll take one more look here, and then we'll finish up with some questions and comments. Will be off and done by 6, which it's 5:55, by the way, for those that need to know the time. I've got that posted for you on this stream. Take a look. It shows the current time, 5:54.
Okay, very nice.
I got very excited about that.
Yes, you did.
I forgot that information was there until just now.
You're cute. Sharon, I love that. I am always looking for the silver lining, and that is it. One good thing our long winters do is give us a special appreciation for our summers.
Yes, they do.
Yep, I agree. I think we will all appreciate a warm, sunny day.
I think so.
And
I'm going to be appreciating calmer weather.
Yeah, I was going to say, just calm weather we'll appreciate, right? Oh.
I got to get my anemometer out.
Do you think we may lose power? I don't think I've ever heard it quite this windy up here.
You also haven't been out here.
Was it just this room?
Well, this room does kind of take it to another level. You know, it does. It kind of takes it to another level.
Yeah, it's a 3-season room that you've made into a 4-season room.
But maybe it should really be just a 3-season room.
Maybe we need to go inside the house.
We've done a lot of work, though, to kind of expand. Hey, if those ice fishermen can be out there all afternoon with nothing but a tiny layer of nylon between them and the elements.
Right. Okay.
Right? Okay, so I don't appreciate you guys and your mockery.
You guys.
Well, they're probably right there joining you, I'm guessing. So.
Mocking you.
Mm-hmm, the mockery.
Like we do.
It's just not necessary. Okay. All right. What other aspects are we covering during this? We talked about the wind. The worst of the wind will come over the next 1 to 2 hours. It should begin to subside by mid to late evening a bit, and it will definitely subside overnight tonight. The snow, any snow squalls that you get, I think it's going to be inconsequential. A maximum of 1 inch or 2 here locally. There'll be heavier amounts down for the Tug Hill, downwind of Lake Ontario, but otherwise here across western New York, I think generally speaking it won't be too bad. Sharon on here talking about what you just mentioned. You've already covered the comments. We're good.
Cheryl Evans, she lives in this area, and she is one I was referring to. She worked at Bob's supermarket.
Cheryl Evans? Okay,
Cheryl
yeah.
Evans. Am I right about that, Cheryl?
I still see Cheryl on a lot of our YouTubes.
I know. Well, she's right here, and she says sometimes we do lose power, and we'll get with high winds. Just be prepared. Oh, boy.
We had a lot of wind in November, and I thought for sure the power was going to go. And we have some of those low-hanging power lines that you just kind of expect would go. I need to knock on something sturdy. Cheryl, if power's coming out, we're going to need your address, okay?
Well, she may not have power either.
Well, we're going to have to reach out then.
All right. So. Susan on here says, I just realized you're on Saranac Lake.
Not Saranac Lake. This is you're actually looking at Lake Ontario. This bay, that's Port Bay, New York. But if you look in the other picture here, on the other side of the bay, the other side of that tree line, that's Lake Ontario. So we're not quite to Saranac, although I'd love to go visit Saranac Lake.
We have a lot of places we'd like to visit.
Yep. We'll do that on the next.
When the weather gets a little nicer.
We're not traveling in this. This is a mess outside.
Thank you.
It's a hot mess.
Oh my gosh, Joan. She says it's garbage night. Garbage totes.
Oh, it's garbage night. It is garbage night.
Garbage night. Oh, Joan. She says they're going to be 3 towns away. Oh, boy. Hey, yeah. Well.
All right.
Yep, that reminds us. Thanks, Joan. Yep, you're right.
All right, well, there you have it. It's 5:58. If we don't have any other purpose to being on here, again, covering the latest wind gust, I'm looking coming in from New York Mesonet. Winds gusting 35 to 45 for much of the region right now. We expect that to increase to locally 55 or possibly 60 up here right on the lake shore. Over the next 1 to 2 hours, wind advisory and wind warnings go until 1 a.m. tonight. And then they will taper off here during the overnight period tonight with much calmer conditions.
It could be hard to sleep with this.
Well, yeah. Our daughter always complains about the wind whenever we have any sort of a southerly component to the wind.
She's on the...
She'll be all right tonight, though, because this is west-northwest. So it's a stronger wind, but it's better for her. So.
Okay, well, thank goodness, because when Ashlyn doesn't sleep, that means
nobody else.
Mommy doesn't sleep either.
That's exactly right.
So that is good to hear. Okay.
All right, final radar, then we're going to get off here.
Yeah.
And a reminder, we'll be right back on with a little bit of weather. We've been covering less weather with the later show for obvious reasons. We just find that news and politics, it's a little more interesting nowadays, so we cover that quite a bit. So if you enjoy political opinion, come on over. Yes, ours tends to be on the conservative side. So, but if you have more of a liberal opinion, we'd love to have you too.
Yeah,
we want your opinion on the show. Only you can make a difference. That's Weather Live. Stop it. Weather Live at 8:45 was the old brand, and now it's news, weather, and politics at 8:45. It'll be on Facebook, not on this YouTube stream, by the way. If you're a YouTuber and you're following me on this stream and you're interested in our other content, you're going to need to come on over to the Patreon page. Come on over to Patreon, and then you can follow the link as it's posted tonight, and it'll take you to the other YouTube stream. But that's the easiest way I can steer you over there. So here it is. If you didn't use it earlier, that's patreon.com/WxLIVE. Would love to have you. And then for those interested, you also have the option to subscribe if you want to support what we're doing. But we appreciate you guys being here. It is 6 o'clock as promised. We're going to bring this one down for a close. Any last comments?
Let's see. Yeah, Cheryl says you just get used to it after a while, and she tends to think of the Wizard of Oz theme.
We should identify with that.
Yeah, and Susan, that's sweet. She says, thanks for sharing your win.
Yep. You're welcome. I think, wait.
Oh.
How about a little gnat sound?
A little gnat sound.
Oh, now it calms down as soon as
exactly.
I go to yeah, we lived in Kansas for about three and a half years. So the Wizard of Oz was a continual theme.
It sure was.
Maybe we'll talk about the Wizard of Oz tonight and how that relates to current politics. Ooh, I love it.
Oh, there it is.
I love it.
Inspiration, I think,
you go.
Just took place.
All right,
Thanks,
talking
Cheryl.
about the Wicked Witch of the West.
Thanks, Cheryl, for that.
You got it. Thank you, Cheryl.
You're awesome.
You.
All right.
That's Weather Live at 8:45. Find us tonight on Facebook and also on the other YouTube channel. You can be sure to find everything that we post. Just go on over to our Patreon page. That's patreon.com/WxLive. Thanks for being here, guys. Talk to you again soon.
Bye, guys. See you soon.